there, it's Jennifer McGuire with Hero Arts, and I have a new technique for you today that I've called smooching. I actually figured this technique out by accident, and I thought you might think it's kind of fun. So this is the card we're creating, and all of these flowers were created using the smooching technique. And I apologize ahead of time if there's noise in the background. They're remodeling, and I can't seem to escape the sound. Anyways, these are Hero Arts chalk inks. I'm going to use these for this technique. Really, any ink would work, but I really love the rich, vibrant colors of these chalk inks. Then I have some new Basic Gray Hero Arts stamps. This is one of the background stamps that I really like. And then this flower stamp, it's actually a cling stamp. You'll have to apologize. This is wood mounted here because it was a prototype stamp, and I don't actually have the new stamp yet. We get these prototypes as artists to work with before the stamps are actually made. So I'm going to be using these stamps, and then I also need a cloth for this technique, so I'm going to keep that handy. I'm going to start out with the Punch chalk ink, and I'm going to ink up my flower stamp really good with the chalk ink. It's really great coverage with this ink. And then I'm going to use the uninked background stamp. I'm using the grid portion, and I'm going to kiss the stamp to it and then slightly shift it. And you'll see here that when I shifted it, it pushes the ink, creating this kind of plaid look. If I didn't shift it, it would just end up with this really fine grid line kissed to it, which is great. But by shifting it, I push the ink a little bit and create this plaid look. Now you can see here, if I would have stamped it normally, I would get the flower on the right, but by kissing and shifting it, which I call smooching, I get the flower on the left. So I'm going to show you this a few more times. I'm going to clean off my stamp real good, and then I'm going to do this again with the poppy ink. Now this is a great orange color. I'm going to ink up the stamp really good, take an uninked portion of the stamp, I'm going to kiss it down, and you'll see me shift it just a little. So I push it over a little bit, smooching it together, and you'll see there's the ink again, and then I'll stamp it onto the card. Again, I don't need to shift it. I could get a much more subtle kissed look, but I like this bold plaid look that you get by smooching. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again with the cerulean blue chalk ink, and I kissed it and shifted a little bit, and you can see it really good there, and I'll stamp this too. Again, you can do this with other inks, but I find the chalk ink works really well. Now finally, I'm going to use the Irish chalk ink, and if you watch here, I'm going to shift it a little bit, and I shifted it too much there, and you can see I pushed too much of the ink, which would work great, but I wanted to be consistent with the others, so I'm going to just try again here. You could ink the background stamp also to transfer some ink, but for this I just wanted the one straight up color, so I'm using the uninked background. So I'm shifting a little bit there, that turned out much better, and then I'll stamp this onto here. I figured out this technique by accident when I was just trying to kiss these stamps, and when I shifted I actually liked the results better. So there are the flowers. Now I wanted to add some leaves to it, so I decided to use one from this clear set, this greeting set. There's a leaf here, but I decided to instead use the heart. I thought that would be a fun leaf. I'm going to ink that up with the grass chalk ink and also smooch it just like I did with the flowers against that background stamp. And the fun thing about this is, since this is clear, you'll actually see when the smooching happens. So I'll show you close up here in a second so you can see what that looks like. So I'm just inking it with the grass chalk ink, kiss it, smooch it, and then you've got good, you see that plaid pattern there? Good inked plaid pattern, and I'll just stamp that onto the card. Now I'm going to show that again up close. You can watch as I kiss this. You'll see the shifting. So I'll kiss it, there's the shifting, pushes the ink around, and there you have the plaid leaf. So I'll just stamp that too, and I just repeated this several times. Now I also wanted to show you how I did this greeting. I kind of played around with some different greetings. And I started with this Friends set of clear images. You can see I've cut these all apart so that I can get different greetings out of them. I'm going to use this, it's the little things you do that make me smile. I'm actually going to cut out the words you and make me smile so I can make my own little greeting stamp. And it's okay to cut these clear stamps. These high quality stamps from Hero Arts are made in the US. They'll hold their shape and you don't have to worry about it when you cut between the words. You can always go back and mount them the original way if you want. It really doesn't matter at all. So I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz scissors to cut through them here. You can use any scissors, but these are my favorites. I use them for absolutely everything. And I'm just cutting out the words that I need. Now I'm going to show you how you can just line these up and create a new greeting. I usually go ahead and stick one to my acrylic block. I apologize if my acrylic block is very dirty, but I'll show you later how you can fix that. And there I have a new greeting. So instead of the original greeting, now it says "You make me smile," which was great because I couldn't use that bigger greeting in the little area I had on my card. Now I'm actually going to change it again, and I'm just going to stamp the "Make Me Smile." So I left off the U, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm just going to stamp it with my black Hero Hues dye ink. I use that black ink for all of my greetings because it does nice crisp image. Now I want to add a U, but I wanted to do a cursive one. So I'm going to go back to the set that had the flower on it that I used for the leaves. I'm going to cut off the word U here and put that with the "Make Me Smile." So you can totally get new greetings by mix and matching words from different greeting sets. So by putting this here, it really fits much better into that space that I created. Now if you notice, I often put little dots after my greetings, just these dot dot dots, and then what I do is on the inside I put 3 more dots, and then I complete the message with my personal greeting. So I'll say, like, "You make me smile" on the outside, but on the inside say, "Because you did whatever." So it's just a fun way to make it personal. Now if you notice, I got some ink here where I didn't want it. I never redo a card. I always just scrape it off real lightly with a craft knife and then erase off the fuzz with an eraser, and it's as good as new. It's a great way to cover up mistakes. And then in the center of the flowers, I'm using some liquid pearls, just the white opal, to add to the flowers because I didn't have enough little pearls to do this, so I just created my own with my liquid pearls. So there you can see the results there. Just a fun way to use a smooching technique that I came up with by accident, and then a fun new greeting. Now I wanted to show you about cleaning acrylic blocks. When I get an acrylic block that's all muddy like this, I use my Ultra Clean. This is the stamp cleaner that I use for all of my stamp cleaning. Stays on everything. And I just spray it on the acrylic mount, rub it around with a baby wipe or a cloth, and before you know it, you have an acrylic block that's good as new. So I use this cleaner to clean up my craft sheets, my desk, my stamps, everything. So you can see here that it's nice and clean. Probably should have done that before I shot the video. But thanks for watching, and I hope you find some inspiration to try this technique.